man, can't wait to get a soft light. Right now, I got my lamp just shining on me, and I'm not looking at it directly, obviously, because that'll be bad for my eyes. But yeah, hopefully getting like a light box soon, you know, with some shades and covers on them. But yeah, anyways, what is up, guys? It is your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for a special little video. So in this one, you know, since I've been like kind of injured a little bit, still been recording a little bit, but just taking it easy, not launching as hard as I possibly can, but like launching like, you know, well, as hard as I can right now, but not like using this finger basically because I want it to heal up, obviously. But I'm still getting the content out to you guys. Anyways, with that being said, been doing a lot of these videos sort of like this, just where I talk about some things. But yeah, basically in this video, I'm going to talk about Hasbro. So I'm probably gonna call this why Hasbro Beyblade Burst is amazing. That's why I'm gonna call it that. So yeah, so in general, I mean, this is sort of a given. This has always been sort of a thing. Whenever, like, you know, obviously Beyblade started off, you know, being made by Takara Tomy in Japan. And then, like, usually Hasbro picks up on it after, because, you know, first it goes through Japan, and then the series goes through the US or, you know, America and such, you know, the rest of the world, basically. It gets English dub, like the series does. We get, the Beyblades and products and stuff on our shelves. And, you know, people always compare. And there's always this little barrier. There's always this barrier with some people, like this, I call it like a bias barrier. And what I mean by that is that, like, they lean towards one company because it's like the, like, mainly Takara Tomy, you know, because it's the OG company, and it's like, yeah, well, Hasbro's just taking the stuff from TT and stuff. But yeah, the thing is that, like, in the past, Hasbro has messed up with some things. So, like, for example, like, you know, I wasn't around, like, a ton during the plastic gen. I think, like, during the plastic gen, like, they did pretty good. Like, HMS 2, wasn't, like, around for, I guess, a really, really long time, but they still did pretty good with it. But I know really about, like, Metal Fight Beyblade. Like, how, like, you know, it was in Japan, and then obviously came over to the US and such, because, you know, I started my channel when, like, Metal Masters was new. Like, Metal Fusion was just ending, Metal Masters was coming in, and yeah, so, it was 4D, actually, over in Japan. Yeah, so, like, Metal Fury then. But yeah, basically, with Hasbro, like, they've made good decisions and bad decisions during Metal Fight Beyblade, and one of like some of the good decisions actually, well, I mean, like, even quality wise, some of the bays. So like, for example, like we go into Metal Fury, the quality of some of the bays, like people always just saw like the metal for Hasbro getting more dented and such, you know, which obviously that was like a little bit of an issue, but still, like, Hasbro's making these products, you guys. Hasbro's making these products. We can get them on our shelves, and it's easier to get them, so we don't have to order online, get a bunch of expensive things, because Beyblade is getting expensive. Like, it's expensive when you had to get it from like somewhere else, you know, obviously like from Japan or such, you know, you have to pay for the shipping and such. Not only the bay itself, the price of it, plus like the sellers maybe up in the price a little bit more, but the shipping as well for some things in some cases, or if you get like pretty cheap shipping, it takes a while to get here, like, you know, like 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. But overall, even during like during Metal Fight Beyblade, Hasbro was doing a really, really good job. Some people didn't like this, and like the main thing that people had a problem with was when they made their own versions of like 4D Beyblades, so, you know, like Hasbro J Jupiter, like all the Hasbro versions, like Hasbro Cosmic Pegasus, J Jupiter, you know, Fang Leon, just the one pieces, and they were hollowed out and such. People didn't really like that. They weren't fans, but it diversified the game. It really did, you know, so people can't really complain or anything, you know, because it diversified the game. Even with like some of the pre-hybrid real Beyblades, like, you know, Night Virgo wasn't actually a thing. Like, it was a pre-hybrid Virgo, but then they made it a hybrid wheel system. So Night Virgo. And then like Capricorn, PHW Capricorn became Fury Capricorn. PHW Aquario became Hyper Aquario, just instances like that, you know. Leon becoming Counter Leon, you know, yeah, things like that. That diversified the game, made the counter wheel, you know, like, you know, they just diversified it by literally making these bays hybrid wheel system bays, you know, which was really cool to see. That I'm giving like Hasbro props for that. That's one thing that people overlooked. It might have been a small thing, but they did that. They diversified the game. People didn't realize it, but they did. Even during Metal Fury, like with these Hasbro versions, they diversified the game. People might not like that. And plus, after they made Hyper Blades, but then they did different colors. But honestly, some people would have probably been upset because, like, oh, they're directly copying Takara Tomy. You know, they're doing the same exact colors and all this stuff, but they switched it up. You know, they even made the Hyper Blades like the 2-part wheels, like, you know, like Hasbro, like they made Hyper Blades, Cosmic Pegasus, Flash Sagittario, J Jupiter, Blitz, Blitz Striker, all these bays, you know. and still had the Hasbro versions. You know, they even had like a special version of Big Lots. For anybody who doesn't know, this is like probably some people didn't know. They had an exclusive like a few exclusive Beyblades. Like there's a J Jupiter, a Blitz Striker, and like another Bay. I can't even remember off the top of my head. I can't believe I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, that were exclusive to Big Lots. They were recolors, and nobody even knew about them. I was actually the one that found, like Tasia and I were the ones that found them, and then like other people like just started realizing after that, and then started checking Big Lots. And I was like, oh crap, these are real things. You know, that's one of my proud moments of my channel, that I actually like discovered something. Even like traded some to Zenki for some Hyper Blades that I didn't have. You know, but yeah, you know, that's when I first like had a little contact with Zenki. That was really, really cool. But that's besides the point. Hasbro, like, they've done things that are really, really awesome. You know, even those bays, they diversified the game. Even like Hasbro Jade, surprisingly, on an R2F is actually like kind of recoiling and actually gets some pretty good attacks in. But yeah, so those are like things of the past. Now I'm talking about like the current situation with a Burst. So, you know, Burst being the new series. I'm talking about how Hasbro is doing with it. So Hasbro is switching up the game even more with this, because with Burst there is the burst factor, and that keeps things absolutely unpredictable, you know. And some bays that have been good under Takara Tomy haven't been good under Hasbro, which is given. Like Hasbro, like Nepstrius, like Neptune is good under TT, but Nepstrius is really, really nerfed and really, really bad. Same thing with Dark Death Scyther, you know, Dark Doom Sizer. Yeah, even Beast Behemoth or Beast Patronic, DJ Salad. You know, I showed that in one of my battles. Yeah, they all burst quite a bit. But there's some bays that under Hasbro are really, really good and way better than their TT counterpart. For example, Hasbro J2. So Jail Jormungand, not too good. Jumbo Germontor, though, does not burst that easily, man. I haven't even gotten mine to burst yet. So, you know, shows it's good. Unlock Unicorn, pretty okay, but not too good. Uber Unicrest under Hasbro, really, really defensive and doesn't burst that easily, you know? Just some instances like that. They're switching things up big time. That's just the one thing. The second being, like, some of the... Honestly, some people are going to probably get mad at me for this, but, like, the quality on Hasbro bays, for some of them, is better than TT. And the reason why I say that, before anybody gets mad, the reason why I say that is because look at things like Hasbro's Reboot. Look at TT's Reboot, besides the one from the premium set, which still, like, it's better, but not that good, you know. But Hasbro's Reboot, the way it starts up and kick starts, it's really effective and it's really, really good. So, you know, Hasbro's Genesis Valkyrie honestly performs better than TT's God Valkyrie. Especially with the Reboot, because it gets a much better kickstart, and even just like the quality of like all the parts, like, you know, even on Hasbro's J2, the cycle's more balanced than TT's, you know, and Hasbro's Edge is more balanced than TT's Edge, in all honesty, you know. So Hasbro's putting in this work, you guys, you know, they're working so hard so that we have these products on our shelves. Some of them they make the exact versions, but some of them they switch up. So, like, you know, obviously like the Genesis Valkyrie and the Kinetic Saturn and the set look like just like the TT counterparts, but also they released the Genesis Valkyrie that's orange, you know. So they're still switching things up. Even if they do make like some kind of crazy colors or something, they're still switching things up and making things a little bit different. Plus, completely, the slide system totally switches everything around. It's like playing a completely different game. I can honestly see like the WBO creating just a Hasbro exclusive format down the line because it's so different, you know? Some Beyblades under Hasbro are better than their TT counterparts, you know? So, yeah, that would be amazing to do. Like, just have a full-out Hasbro format, like Hasbro tournaments. You have to bring Hasbro Beyblades, all that parts had to be Hasbro and such, you know? But yeah, and that'll be amazing to see. But Hasbro is killing it with this, you know, they're killing it. And even like during the first season of Beyblade Burst, like they didn't have as much funding because it was like the new series. But they still did so well on so many of the bays, you know. Still performed really, really well. And plus there are less breakages, like Hasbro's I2, Inferno Efritter, donuts, you know. TT's I2 broke on me in the first battle, you guys, you know, the orange one. But Hasbro's has not. It's really sturdy and durable. It's got good plastic. And yeah, so like some Hasbro Beyblades, you know, especially with Switch Striker, like with the clear plastic, you know, it might be a little foggy. That's no big thing to me, honestly. I'd rather it be like a little foggy than to risk like, you know, launching my hardest and then like a Beyblade breaking. If that means like the Beyblade's not going to break, then fine. Doesn't really matter to me. I still think they look absolutely amazing. Because, you know, this quality that they're giving now was even better than the quality they gave during like the Metal Fight Saga, you know. Yeah, you know, that's just my honest opinion about it. So definitely people should just give Hasbro credit. People just continue to give Hasbro crap. But Hasbro's putting in the work, you guys. And if you want a point to drive it home, I can think of even another point. Hasbro making their own exclusive layers. They're diversifying the game by not giving a crap and making their own layers, man. Orpheus, Tyrus, Hyris, Surtur, Istris. That's just 5. Diomedes, man. That's like 6. Like, yeah, so many different layers that they're making. And they're going to probably be releasing these layers. Because, you know, we've seen pictures for Hyris, seen pictures for Orpheus, seen pictures for Tyrus. So it's a given that they're going to make, like, Diomedes. They're going to make Istris. They're going to make Surtur. It's going to be great, man. They're diversifying this game even more. Some layers that TT didn't even make, Hasbro's making. They're making their own layers. And these things might actually switch up the game big time. So anybody who's giving Hasbro crap, it's like, why? They're the reason why you get those products on your shelves, you know? Like, just me living in the U.S., I'm not rich. I'm definitely not rich, you know? It's much cheaper for me to go to a store and buy it than to buy it online, you know? There's no doubt about that. And the fact that we can get bays like, you know, Wyvron, we can get parts like Atomic and such. We'll probably even be able to get parts like Destroy, hopefully, like Hasbro does it. You know, sometimes they switch up. Hasbro screws up, you know, because they switch up some parts, like even like during the first season. Instead of Gyro, they made Edge. Instead of Yielding, they put like Survive, you know, on like Y2. On Yegdrion, they put Edge instead of Gyro. You know, they messed up with like some things like that. Even with like Wild Wyvron. You know, they put Massive on instead of Orbit. Like, you know, they do mess up. They do make, like, small mistakes and, like, you know, mess up. Not making the right parts for some bays. But it seems like now with this season, they have more funding. Because, you know, if they don't have a lot of funding, they can't make all the parts that TT does. But they've got more funding because more people are, like, into this series. More people support it. More people are like, I'm going to go to those stores. I'm going to buy those products. So they're actually making things like Orbit. They put Orbit on A2. They actually put the metal in L2. They gave Atomic to Tempest Wyvron. You know, they are really putting in the work in evolution. Like, they saw the mistakes that they made during the first season, and this season's really great. It's usually the second season where things, like, just completely are amazing, you know, where a series is really, really at its peak. At least for Beyblade, it seems that way, you know. Because Metal Masters, like, I mean, Metal Fusion, people were really getting into it. Metal Masters, a lot of people were into it. Metal Fury, some people started dipping out, and then Shogun Steel, like, quite a few people dipped out. But yeah. During Beyblade Burst, like the first season, a lot of people were getting into it. And now it's Evolution here in the US, so this is probably, in my opinion, the year where it's really just going to spike. It's going to be at its peak. Beyblade Burst is going to be at its peak in the US is this year, you know, because of all the releases. And plus, like, Hasbro adding more and more layers. Like, they're just... they're going to make bank. It's a given, you know, because it's so popular right now. And they're adding more layers to the game. Even people that are just, like, into only... like, you know, TT bays, they're gonna have to buy these Hasbro bays because it's like they don't have Istris, they don't have Surtur, they don't have Orpheus, they don't have Tyrus, they don't have Diomedes, you know, Hyris, like all these bays that they're creating, you know, so you have to give big props to Hasbro, you know. I've always like just given big props to Hasbro, mainly because like you get like the items on the shelves here, you know. Can you imagine how hard it would be to even get like Beyblades if they didn't make the series, if they didn't make the series come to North America, if they didn't have these products on our shelves or anything, we'd all have to be buying them online and it would cost even more than it does already. And yeah, so, you know, like Beyblade's not cheap. It's not cheap at all, you know. Like, you could drop some serious money on, I mean, I know I drop serious money on Beyblade, you know. Whenever I get a paycheck or something, like, I get, like, I just figure out, like, the things that just came out or things I don't have, and I try to get them, you know, so I can make you guys happy and so you guys can see, like, how they perform and such, so I can have them in my collection, you know. Definitely high risk, but it's definitely easier for me to go to a store and pick up bays than it is to order online. Just saying, it's a lot cheaper and takes a lot less time. But yeah, so, you know, gotta give props to Hasbro, no doubt about it. I just made this video just to get that out to anybody, you know. Gotta appreciate the things that we get, because if Hasbro didn't do this, you guys, we wouldn't have these products on our shelves. And think about that for 1 second, you know. If we didn't have any of these products on our shelves, if Hasbro never did Beyblade, how many, like, a lot of the bays that we have, how many of them would we have? Like, how big will our collections actually be? You know how much harder it would be to get that? Like, it's harder to get bays from Japan right now, especially, you know, like a new series is getting ready to come out, you know, with Super Zetsu, with the metal Beyblades, well, you know, like, more metal in each of the layers. Hopefully they don't overkill with it. I don't think they will. But yeah, just think about that. If we had to get all these products over there, and they didn't even have a series in the US. They didn't have a series. They didn't translate it or anything. Imagine that. You know, just saying how different things would be. in general, just with the whole Beyblade community and just Beyblade in general, you know. But just saying that. But anyways, that is everything for this video, you guys. Yeah, just wanted to get it out. Like, give Hasbro some props because they're putting in some work, especially if they start, like, I mean, if they just keep on making, like, all the actual parts for all the bases. Because, I mean, for Ultra Cognite, they put the trans on it. Like I said, for Drain Fafnir, you know, they gave it all the parts that it had. All these Switch Strike bases, they're giving them all the parts that they actually do have. And it's really, really great to see that. And yeah, especially like getting a Hasbro Arc Bahamut. Oh my gosh, imagine that. Hasbro Arc Bahamut, you guys, with slides, how strong that thing would be. Good gravy. I just thought about that. Like Hasbro Arc Bahamut, or if they do Hasbro Deep Chaos, well, you know, like Deep K-Nox with the bearing. And we get a Hasbro bearing, you know? Just all these parts. If they do this, then this is going to definitely be like the peak season, no doubt. And I see Hasbro doing that. They're going in and using like all the actual parts for all the bays and stuff right now. And why would they switch that, you know? They got the funding to do it, so now they're going to use all the actual parts. Like, we're probably going to, yeah, we're going to see like Gyro. We've already seen Atomic, seen Orbit, probably going to see Destroy, Iron, all these drivers, like, you know, that people were like missing. Like, even maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll do Yielding. Hopefully they go back and they do Yielding, because then they'll right that wrong. No doubt about it. But yeah. Anyways, you guys, that is it for this video. Just wanted to get all my points out. Like, give Hasbro some props, because if we didn't have Hasbro, honestly, some people won't admit it, but if we didn't have Hasbro, we wouldn't be as far with Beyblade over here. No doubt about it. But yeah, anyways, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, just wanted to get my honest opinion and thoughts out about it. And yeah, so just like appreciate things, you know, appreciate that Hasbro's doing this, because like Beyblade's not going to be around forever, you know. I mean, the second season, God, is getting towards its end, and we're starting to get Evolution, which is that season just dubbed here. And just think about it, next year it'll be like Super Zetsu or whatever it ends up being, like probably Transcendent or something like that, above like the gods or something. But yeah, this could possibly be the last series, you know. I'm just being realistic about it, you know. Maybe there might be one after, I don't know if they will, but there's at least one more series that's coming, and it's this one that's coming in March or April. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to smash that like button down below. Let me know how I did. Hope this like opened some people's eyes about some things, because yeah, just like the whole like bias thing, like, you know, you gotta appreciate what Hasbro's doing. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smash the like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe for epic content, because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring the bell next to my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. And yeah, and because I'm giving props to Hasbro, don't think I hate Takara Tomy. I don't hate Takara Tomy at all. Takara Tomy is amazing. You know, they're the OG ones for this, you know. I'm just saying give Hasbro some props, because we wouldn't be as far without them. Just being honest. But yeah. Anyways, till next time, guys, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you later. Thanks for watching. Until then, stay awesome and let it rip. Or, you know, whole shoot. But mainly for this one, because I'm talking about Hasbro. Let it rip. I'm up out of here, you guys.